Hey, and welcome to the show where we are talking about real things, real issues every day. It's me, your woman. I was going to say your girl, but I'm all woman, Crystal. And we also have our lovely, uh, I was going to say something else, but we have our lovely, I was going to get a little bit too real with the name, but anyway, we have
Oh
our
God.
lovely Khadijah, alter ego, producer of our show.
All right. And so we are going to be talking about a trending topic that we saw on TikTok to start our show off. I'm going to play the video and then we're going to get into the topic just to talk about our thoughts. And hopefully you guys will chime in and tell us what you think. We did get a lot of feedback when I posted it. So I'll read some of those comments as well. So let me just play the video.
Own car, make about $70,000 a year, and don't have any kids.
So this woman's answering the question, what do you bring to the table in a relationship? And her answer is her $70,000 salary, her college education, the fact she has a house and a car. Ladies, if you're looking for a successful man, which the internet has made it abundantly clear that's what you're after, as a moderately successful man, let me give you some insight. If your answer to that question is your house, your education, your $70,000 salary, we don't care. We don't care. Your salary, your house, your car, and sure as shit, your college education is not a value add to our life. Period. The end. I'm not saying that we don't respect a woman who has all her stuff together. That's awesome. But it's not a value add in a relationship. We have all that stuff. We have money. We have our own house. We have cars, sometimes more than one, sometimes more than one house. The only men who care about that stuff are men who are looking to be taken care of. That's not what you're after. Think about that.
I think I'm in. Yeah, so a lot of people were saying facts that they agreed with what he was saying. We did have one comment from Rachel Hannibal. She is our financial guru. She says she only agrees halfway with him. A woman who never worked hard for anything won't be able to fully appreciate or take care of the home, the car, etc., that he wants to share with her. I'm pretty sure that they would prefer a woman who is raising and helping their kids with the homework to have some kind of education. I'm not saying what she has is all she needs, but he should appreciate her hard work, which shows her priorities, her characters. Plus, the right woman with the right information can double or triple what he already has. Pretty sure he would love to have more. So, what's your take on this, Miss Crystal?
Well, my take in the beginning, and I agree. I totally agree, because when we're out here looking for our significant other, or and they always ask what you bring into the table, a lot of the times everything that they talk about bringing to the table is always materialistic. And I, for one, personally am not a materialistic person, because I have my house, my car, salary and everything. That's pretty much standard in the world that we live in 2021. Now, what is not talked about, what you're bringing to the table, is your mental health, you know, for your financial stability. Yeah, you're bringing in that money, but how are you managing that money? Let's talk about credit scores. So I agree. If you are, he talked about his income level and where he's coming from, the moderate man, that they're not looking for that. Great, you got your house and your car. What else? What else are you bringing to the table? And maybe she has more to add to that, and a lot of times, and I can see she's young, that they feel the younger people tend to feel that that is enough and that is all that they need to bring to the table to be valued. And that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's not right.
And then too, we got to keep in mind that it's a TikTok video, so it's she didn't have that much time to get all into details. But I do feel like most times when we're talking about, well, I mean, I just feel like most people feel like those accomplishments are something to brag about. Listen, I don't have no kids. I have this. I have X, Y, Z. This is what I'm bringing to the table. But I think, like he said, like I agree. I mean, if you're looking for somebody that's as successful or even more successful as you are, that's not really a benefit to them because they have all of those things. So what else can you bring? Like, what are your morals? Like, how do you feel about raising children? You don't have any children. Do you want more children? So when people say, What are you bringing to the table? And they say, I am the table. You can have all those things and not be compatible at all. So I do think
Right.
it's way more important than just like that's not really a value add, like he said. Like he doesn't feel like it's a value add. And I'm somewhat materialistic, but I don't feel as though that is a value add to me. Like because I could take that or leave it. I can make my own money. Like you and I both have enough skills. We can go out there get our own money. We're gonna take care of our kids. Gonna eat regardless.
Right.
So I mean, with or
And me,
without your money,
you know, me and my sense of humor, my way, I'm gonna ask, what kind of table? Is it a fold up picnic table? Is it a country wood table? Is it one of the Italian marble tables? Okay,
yeah.
what kind of table are we talking? Because different tables require different things. Because if we bring in a picnic table, I got my grandma tater salad recipe.
I mean, we could both bring picnic tables though. So you making it seem like you bringing some more fancy shit. And you got a picnic table, like bro,
Right, because
like.
I always ask that. We like, what table? Like, are we talking the red table? Or are we talking the marbles? Like, what are you bringing to the table? Where is your table, sir? And
Yeah,
what table are we talking about? Because again, for me, different tables will require different things that I'm bringing. Okay, if you got a glass table, I know that it's very fragile. So I'm gonna have to be really careful what I'm bringing to this fragile table. It might not be able to handle my, $1 million salary. I'm just saying.
yeah. And then I just think that people use that term so loosely, like that phrase anyway. Again, as if because you make a lot of money, that means something. I know sometimes for men, and I can only speak on black men because I don't date white men and I never have, but for black men, it seems like the more money they have, the more entitled that they feel. Um, and so I kind of got that little bit like when he was like, it's not a value add, like, that's not a big deal. But I think, when you're for in the black community anyway, the fact that she is saying those things should kind of be just to be, play devil's advocate. It should kind of be a value add in a sense because you talk about women being gold diggers and, wanting you for your money. So she's saying, listen, I have all those things. So, I should be a added benefit to your life, kind of like what Rachel was saying, like because I have all these things without you, imagine what I can add to. But the fact that he's saying like, okay, so what is not a value add? It's like, well, what are you looking for? What are you looking for that would add value to you? And how can I be a benefit to you in a relationship? So I don't know. I just think sometimes I get a little turned off when black men have money because they seem like they feel like they are better than. And that kind of gave me those vibes a little bit when he was
And
like, I
maybe,
mean,
and for me, I'm thinking, it's cultural too. American culture, African American culture, in our own culture, in our country, period. That's always talked about. Like I don't hear it talked about in other cultures or countries because in other cultures, the man does provide. And the
mhm.
man has to come with everything, even in let me pick in Indonesia, the men have to pay a dowry to either to present a dowry to marry the woman. And whatever the dowry is, the dowry could be anywhere between they need 20 cows, jewelry, whatever. It was, as a matter of fact, on one of my favorite shows, 90 Day Fiance, the white man who married the Filipino woman, he had to pay a dowry, and because he couldn't afford the dowry because he was in debt, this massive American debt, he is still paying. He might not still be because he's been a
You talking
couple
about
years
the
now.
guy that didn't have a neck and they wanted like a cow or something like
Oh, no,
that?
no, no, not him. Not
Oh,
not
okay.
him. No,
Yeah, I couldn't stand
not
him.
him. It was the other one. They're one of my favorite couples, even though they had some issues in the beginning. But it's and they're in Arizona right now. But no, he had to pay. He had to pay the family. He had to pay the family monthly to finish paying off the dowry because he didn't have the money at the time, but he really wanted to marry her, and they had to agree to that. So in different cultures, it's very different when they talk about when talking about that thing as far as bringing to the table. Like the man has to have be well established and have to have um riches in order to marry, their daughter.
Hmm.
And I think it's only, and we can only talk about what we see on TV, but we can also talk about, real life where we live at. I think that just in America and the culture and in our community itself, that is the highlight and the pinpoints as far as what you're bringing to the table. Because if you can't bring nothing to the table, then we don't have nothing to talk about.
Well,
And it's always materialistic. And I think for us, because it's so materialistic, because we're coming from a place of not having as much.
Well, I had a conversation with two different men, and they basically were saying, like, well, you guys wanted to be equal. Like, the feminist movement caused this, and that you guys wanted to be equal, and that women are acting like men. And so, therefore, it should be 50-50. Like, you should be bringing half, and then I bring half, and then we come together, put our money in a pot. It's not like it used to be back in the day when, I went out and worked and you stay home. Like, we're both working, so we should both be putting money into this. So I feel like that plays a part in it too. Like, they're expecting, listen, if we're both working, then you need to, pay some of these bills.
And I get that if you are a united front and you're coming together as a team, right? Not coming together, you just moved in and we're just dating or shacking up, and the incomes for me and for us for anyway, the income has to be the same. I can't be bringing in, you can't expect me to pay the bulk of the bills or a majority of the bills, or I can help you with the bills because that my income is not as high as yours, and vice versa. Listen, my ex-spouse, his income wasn't mine. So it was sort of like a role reversal. I paid the bulk of the bills and he did what he could and he assisted. And then, roles got flipped when he had more money coming in on his side. So I think that works when you have cohesion in the relationship as far as splitting the bills 50-50. And then look, for me, once I start spitting out these babies, it ain't 50-50 no more. It may be 5 to your 95.
That's what I was about to say. Like, I think even though, more women are in the workforce, and more women are making their own paycheck, but they still ultimately have the role of coming home and cooking and nurturing and helping the kids with the homework, especially now with the pandemic. You have to be a school teacher. You have to help with the homework, make sure you're interacting with the teachers. You have to do all those things where the men go to work and they want to come home and sit down and have a beer. So it's kind of like, even though we're both working, it's never going to be 50-50. Like, it's never going to be 50-50. So I don't feel as though I should be giving up 50 of anything. A lot of people don't feel that way. I'm realizing as I talk to more people, a lot of people really are big on listen, we need to put all our money in the pot and split the bills. But maybe I'm just old school in that way. I feel like I don't care how much money I make. Like, even if I'm a millionaire, I feel like you should still pay the bills. And it's funny because I remember when Suba first started messing with Lou, I remember her saying something like that. She was like, yeah, he still paid the bills. He still paid all the bills. Now, I don't know how true that was. But because, the way she's talking about everything now, they broke up. But I just feel like it's just part of being a man. Like, you should want to do that. You should want to pay the bills. You should want to make sure your family is cool. And the money that I make is my money, and your money is my money.
Right. I remember when I was reading Steve Harvey's book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, or is it Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady? Whatever. Anyway, and they're thinking about as far as
act like a lady, think like a man. Yeah.
The things that he was talking about as far as men. Men are 3 P's, but I can't remember only 2. I don't want to get the third one wrong. Protector and provider. What was the other P? Anyway, the role of a man is to protect and provide, right? He talked about it being ingrained from the very beginning, and it's ingrained in men to protect and provide. So you provide for your household and you protect your household. And when you have a woman who's an alpha female who is making more money than the male, then he tends to feel that his manhood is being challenged, right? So to remember that men, their job naturally is to protect and provide. Now, we're not talking about men who have some clearly psychosis issues, who have some mental health issues, who, have some trauma, because that's a whole nother thing all within itself. But ultimately, the foundation for men is that for a man is to protect and provide.
Yeah.
So, what can somebody put in the chat what the other P is? Because I don't want to get it wrong. Because I was going to say, I was like,
I'm gonna
protect,
look.
provide.
Steve, you said Steve Harvey,
Yeah,
3 P's.
for men, protect, provide.
But why Steve Harvey? Do we even believe what Steve Harvey got to say? Because
Yes, we believe Uncle Steve. What you got against my uncle? What you got against my uncle? What you
um,
put? What you put on the table for my Uncle Steve?
profess, provide, and protect. He said.
Oh, profess. See, no wonder I
Mhm.
forgot it, because profess lost me. Like, profess your love
Yeah,
for all.
like what made you know is doing that? I guess they tell you one time. He said the
Mhm.
man who truly has feelings for you will give you a title. So that's what he was saying. Like that if a man
Oh,
is in love with you, um, well, the female is gonna tell everybody when she's in love with somebody. And if the man is in love with you, he's gonna give you a title. So whether I guess that's fiance, girlfriend, you know how you had these people out here like y'all been sneaky linking or y'all had a situationship for 3 years, but he
okay.
won't ever say that you're officially his girlfriend. So when he says profess, he just means they're giving you a title. So
Oh,
I
okay.
guess.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree with the TikTok nation, TikToker, from his point of view, because other men from other cultures and other places might have a different view. I can clearly see he's coming from a place of opulence,
Mm-hmm.
because he said we had a couple cars, heard the dog barking in the background. It sounds like it's a big dog. Big dog needs big food. Big food costs plenty money. I know, because I bought 2 small bags of dog food today.
But
So,
sir, he sound like a sugar daddy type boy. Because you must want to take care of somebody. The way he was like, I mean, that's not a value add. But then if you had somebody coming to you and she does have kids and she doesn't have a job and she doesn't have a car, are you going to be interested in her? Because you have all these things, are you going to feel like she just wants you for your money? What exactly does
I
that
don't think.
mean? You know what I'm saying? Like you probably now you looking at her funny because she got a baby daddy, she don't have a car, you know what I'm saying? She don't have no degrees, and is she going to be on your level to even date? Or are you
Or
looking for a sugar baby? Like what are you
maybe
saying?
he's coming from the sugar baby world. He had a woman that was like that, had all that, and all he wanted to do was be taken care of. And now
Yeah.
she done took so good care of him that he got his own car, a couple cars, his house. He don't want that no more.
Right? Like maybe he just want to take care of somebody. Like I don't need you to have all of that. I just need you to
Right.
look good and do what I need you to do for me, and that's it. Because I got all of that. Like
Right. I just need you to love me. I just need for you to listen to me. I need for you to emotionally support me,
maybe
Because I'm thinking, like, once you get all the.
that I am the table thing is kind of like maybe that's the alpha female type of thing. Like the fact that
And
you're
then what
saying
oh, then,
that,
and then what kind, again, I'm going back to what kind of table.
yeah.
And
Because for
then
me, you gotta have morals, you gotta have integrity, certain things, because eventually those things become a problem, especially when you start having kids. Because if you don't have kids and then you start having kids and you realize that the integrity that you have, your spouse doesn't have, or the parent of your child doesn't have, or you know what I mean, and now
right
y'all
inside,
in court or
having kids will bring everything out, all your childhood trauma, all your
mhm.
emotional turmoil.
Who that's what Tyler Perry said. He said before you marry somebody or commit to somebody, you need to see them in all their seasons. You need to see them when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're going through a loss, grief, just so you can know if you can deal with that person, because you might get with somebody who can't deal with grief or deal with loss and they just completely lose it. So you got to
Right.
make sure you see them in all their seasons. But
I
kind
tell
of
all my I tell all my ladies that's dating men with kids, date them. Do not date them during Christmas, back to school, or any holidays, because when you see them on that, yeah, they doing the most. They buying all the gifts because it's the holidays, and they might be trying to oppress you a little bit. See them after all that, because that of course with women we like that. Oh, look, he's so good with his kids. Look at him shopping for Christmas. Oh, this and all that, and then here come March, Groundhog Day, and he like f them kids. No, I'm just
Yeah,
joking.
like they going to the zoo, and your baby mom keep asking for money, and you don't want to give it to her, like stuff like
Right,
that. Yeah.
right.
All right. Well,
But
I think
shout out to the ladies that are at the table, that's making their own money, six figures, got their own car, paying their own bills, because that within itself is success, because
she
it's
got
hard
her
out here
own
for
car. She got what Boosie say? INDE.
you. We should have played that one. Yes, that's the money. Totally working for that good.
Yeah,
Anyway, so because that's an own feat within itself. When you're a woman, you're single with no kids and having that type of income and your own car, and you can make sound, you can make sound judgments and sound choices.
that's why she got
And
money. She ain't got no goddamn kids. The kids is the one that take. I would have money.
right, my 70,000 is 7,000 dealing with these kids though, for real.
Yeah.
Like,
So
and the 7,000 was just $7. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's I want for the ladies who are out there who feel like that's what you need to bring to the table, understand that there's more to it. And I get it, not wanting to put everything on the table, because everybody isn't worthy of everything that you're putting on the table. It's like, yeah, you got your main course and your beverage and your side salad. Do you want to put dessert on the table? And I'm and that could be me. Not let me say it could be. It definitely is me not putting all my cards on the table, because I need to fill you out if you even need to know what I'm bringing to the table. Because some people just take the information just to go and spread it. Yeah, I know so and so and such. Yeah, she got this. Yeah, he got this. He got that. Yeah, he got money. He got a car in the suburbs. He got a house in the suburbs. He taking flights. He on a jet, just to say, clout chasers, just to say, just to say your name and that they know you, and with that information. So, be real careful about what table you bringing all that stuff to. Okay, because it could be a picnic table.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we will see y'all again next week with another everyday topic, shit that we talking about online, and just bringing it to y'all, see what your thoughts and opinions are.
It's Juneteenth next week, so
Absolutely.
Juneteenth. Do we have a special guest for Juneteenth segment?
I don't know. We can find one. It'll be a surprise guest. We'll see who we can find to come bring some knowledge to the people.
I want an artist. If you could come up here with the Congo drums and just, because I've been working on this dance, right? I learned it on TikTok.
Not the TikTok dance. Oh God. Bye, y'all. See y'all next week.